Hello everyone, welcome back to Pious Learning. We are here again with another video on electrostatics. We have initially posted the first video of electrostatics in which we actually discussed about the ways of charging a body, that is charging by friction and charging by induction. In today's video, we'll be quickly explaining the Coulomb's law in 12 to 15 minutes and discussing one numerical on the same concept. So please do like, subscribe and share our channel and get your pen and pencil and a register and get ready to study Coulomb's law. So without wasting much of the time, let's talk about Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is the law for the electrostatics. Electrostatics, as you are aware, if you have seen the previous video, static means charges at rest. So this law is applicable for the charges at rest. So let's consider that we have two charges, Q1 and Q2, which are separated by a distance d. So we have two charges, Q1 and Q2, which are separated by a distance d. Then there will always have a force in between them. The force could be attractive or repulsive depending upon the nature of the charges. So these two charges will have a force which is directly proportional to the product of the charges Q1 and Q2, that is a magnitude of the two charges, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This law is absolutely similar in lines with the gravitational law, that is Newton's law of gravitation that you have studied in class 11th. That will be in the similar line, that's following the reverse square proportionality with the distance and magnitude of the charges over here. So on removing the sign of proportionality, we'll get a constant k, which is Q1, Q2 upon d square, and this k is nothing but 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, which is permittivity of the medium. We'll discuss about this permittivity as we move ahead with the chapter. Right now, you should know the value of the K, that is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So this is the force which is acting between the two charges. Now the force will be attractive. Force will be attractive if Q1 and Q2 are of opposite sign. If one is positive, another is negative, the force will be attractive, and the force will be repulsive if the charges are of the same sign. Q1 and Q2 are of same sign. Now, we all know that the force being a vector quantity, we should know the direction as well with the magnitude. This will give me only the magnitude. Now, how will I determine the direction? For determining the direction, we will write down Coulomb's law in vector form. So, let's consider the coordinate system x, y and z. Let's mark the coordinate system x, y, z. And let's consider the two charges Q1 and Q2. Okay, so this is a charge Q1 with the position vector R1. Then we have another charge Q2 with the position vector R2. Okay, R1 and R2 represents the position vector of Q1 and Q2 from the origin O, and let they be separated by a distance R12. Now be very specific with the directions because it's very important. R12, this will represent R12 direction. If I mark R21, so this will represent R21 because you are going from 2 to 1. And that you have studied in the vectors as well in class 11th. R21. So we have marked the charges Q1 and Q2, R12 and R21. Now, once again, the two charges will be attracted towards each other if they are of opposite sign. Now, while doing the derivation in this chapter as well as in the next chapter, whenever we will do the derivation, we will always consider the charges to be point charges. That is the first point. Second, we always consider the charges to be positive charges. So, if Q1 and Q2 are positive, so the force will be repulsive because they are of same sign. So if two charges are of the same sign, they will have force repulsive. So Q1 will be repelled by Q2. So force on 1, if I mark, due to 2 will be outwards, F12, as you can see the direction. Force on 2 due to 1 will be marked as outward, F21. Do listen to me very carefully, because if you are starting with this topic first time, it will be a little difficult for you to determine the directions. But once you are through with the direction, you will find this chapter to be the most interesting one for class 12th. Now for Q1, the force will be outward, marked as F12. For Q2, the force will be marked as F21, which is also outwards. Let's now write down F12 and F21. See it from here, the direction of F12 is in the direction of R21. The direction of F21 is in the direction of R12. Let's write down F12 now, because I'm writing down a vector with a direction, so I'll put an arrowhead over it. That will be given by K Q1 Q2 upon magnitude of F12 की direction is R21 का square, and the direction will be determined by a unit vector in this direction, R21. R21 is a unit vector in the direction of F12, which will gives me the direction. Now if I multiply and divide this with the magnitude of R21, इस equation को अगर R21 से multiply और divide कर दें, so what would I get? I'll get K Q1 Q2 upon magnitude of R21 का cube, because हमने multiply और divide किया, और ऊपर I have a vector R21, which will give me the direction F12. Let's keep it here for the time being, and let's now write down F21. Chaliye, let's now write down F21. Similar lines पे let's begin with F21. What is F21? F21 will be in the direction of R12. So K Q1 Q2 magnitude of R12 square with a unit vector along R12. So this is F21. Similar lines पे multiply and divide with the magnitude of R12. So we will get K Q1 Q2 R12 vector over magnitude of R12 cube. Now R12 could be written as minus of R21. So we can write down minus K Q1 Q2 upon magnitude of R12 cube into R21. Please see to the equation number 1 and 2. Mark it as equation number 1 and this as 2. On comparing, this is nothing but this. So what I can write down? F21 vector obviously will be equal to negative of F12. So the two charges will have equal force but opposite in direction with each other. F21 is opposite to F12. They will have opposite direction. Is it clear? That's Coulomb's law in vector form. That's Coulomb's law in vector form. That's very, very important. So we find out F12 and F21. Let's now move to the next one, that is superposition principle. Now, initially, while starting with Coulomb's law, we have considered only two charges. Now, there could be a situation where we have multiple charges. अभी हमने सिर्फ दो ही charges consider किए और उन्हीं का force एक दूसरे पे देखा, and we have also observed that अगर Q1 and Q2 is greater than 0 रहेगा, greater than 0 means The product of the charges is greater than 0 means both the charges are either positive or both the charges are either negative. Only then the product will come out to be greater than 0. So both the charges are of the same sign. So force will be repulsive. But if Q1 into Q2 is less than 0, that means the product of the two charges is less than 0 means one of them is negative. So one is positive, another is negative. So the force will be attractive. Okay, let's get to the next concept. That's superposition principle. Now, if I have more than two charges, multiple charges है मेरे पास 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 बहुत सारे charges है, then what will happen? Then we will have the superposition principle. You already studied superposition principle in class 11 in a chapter waves where we discuss about superposition principle. So superposition principle says whenever there are multiple waves, so the displacement at any time t would be the vector sum of individual displacement. Same concept is applied over here. If there are multiple charges, then the force on each charge will be the vector sum of all the forces. Okay, I repeat once again, if you have multiple charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on, then the force on any charge will be the vector sum of all the forces. This is superposition principle. Let's now try to derive and to figure out the formula for the superposition principle, and then we will quickly move to one numerical for the superposition principle. Sure. Let's now draw once again the position coordinates x, y and z. Once again we will mark the charge Q1, this is Q1, that's Q2, that's Q3. Q2 का position vector R2, Q1 का position vector R1, and for Q3 the position vector is R3. So we marked all the position vectors Q1, Q2, Q3. Similarly, we will mark this as R21, this one as R13. Okay. Let's now try to find out the force on charge Q1. As I previously also discussed, whenever we will do any derivation, we will always consider the charges to be point charges and the charges to be always positive charges. So let's get to Q1. Now, as charges are positive, so Q2 की वजह से force repulsive होगा, outwards होगा, F12. So force on charge 1 due to 2. Similarly, Q1, Q3 भी positive है, तो इसकी वजह से force भी क्या होगा? Outwards होगा. That will be F13. Now, these are the two forces. These are just like the two sides of a parallelogram. So, resultant will be given by the diagonal. You have studied it in vectors. Okay? So, let's write down first F12. What is F12? Quickly write down F12. Once again, K, Q1, Q2 upon F12. Direction is R21. Yes, R21 magnitude square. Similarly, F13. Let's write down F13. So, what do I have? K, Q1, Q3 upon direction Q13 is R31. R31 square R31 unit vector, and the resultant force F1 will be given by F12 plus F13, which is equals to K Q1 Q2 upon magnitude of R21 square R21 plus K Q1 Q3 R31 magnitude square R31 unit vector. So this is the force on F1. If I have more than 3-4 charges, or if I have multiple number of charges, So I will write down F is equals to summation I is equals to, okay, I is equals to 2 to n k qi q1 upon ri1 square ri1. This is the general formula if I have n number of charges for the Coulomb's law. That's superposition principle. Okay, please do derive it in your register once or twice so that you are through with the directions and you actually understand. So for getting more info on it, let's quickly do one small numerical related to the superposition principle. In the next video, we will discuss the numericals of Coulomb's law. So do like, subscribe and share our channel so that you keep on updating yourself with our coming videos. So let's mark A, B, C, D. Let's consider it to be a square. Wैसे it's not looking like a square to me. थोड़ा सा. Let's correct it and make it a square. And now it is looking like a square. A, B, C, D. Let's mark the charges. Q, Q, minus Q being the 4 charges which are kept at the 4 corners, and at the center O, let's keep a charge Q over here, and let's find out the force at the center. Let's find out the force at the center. What would I do? First, I will mark the directions. Because of this, both the charges are positive. So, the force on the charge at O. What I have to find out, I am writing down the question over here. What I am supposed to find out is force at the center, and let the side be A of the square. So, question is find the force on charge Q at the center. Side is A. Let's consider the side to be A. Now, see to it. At the center, because both the charges are positive, so इसकी वजह से force क्या होगा? Outwards होगा, क्योंकि इसको repel करेगा. So, this will be the direction FA. Now, B की वजह से भी force क्या होगा? Outwards होगा, because it is also similar charges. Similar charges है, repel करेगा, outwards रहेगा FB. Now, for C, opposite charges है, positive, negative, attract करेगा, तो force C की वजह से क्या होगा? Inwards होगा ना, इसी line में inwards रहेगा. So this is FC. अगर D की वजह से देखेंगे outwards होता तो इधर होता, but inwards लगेगा. So this will also be FD. Now this force could be marked as F1, which is equal to FA plus FC, है ना? क्योंकि दोनों क्या है? सेम डायरेक्शन में है तो डायरेक्टली ऐड हो जाएंगे because theta is 0 between the two forces. So similarly I can write down F2, which is equals to FB plus FD. Now force होता क्या है? K Q1 Q2 upon R square या D square. अब आप देख रहे हो कि चार्जेस भी क्या है? सारे के सारे सेम है, और डिस्टेंस हर एक चार्ज का भी क्या है? सेम है. तो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द फोर्स तो सबका क्या रहने वाला है? सेम रहने वाला है. इसका मतलब FA is equal to FC is equal to FB is equal to FD, which is equal to K small q capital Q upon में ये distance. Now what is this distance? If this is A and this is A, so what is the diagonal? Diagonal will be root 2A. Now distance OA क्या है? That is half of diagonal, which is equal to root 2A upon 2. That is equal to A by root 2, है ना? A by root 2. So this is the distance. OA का square लिखना था मुझे यहाँ पे. So let's write down. What do I have? That will be KQQ upon A by root 2 का square. ये मेरा फोर्स आ गया, इसका स्क्वायर ऊपर लेके जाएंगे तो 2kq अपॉन a स्क्वायर, मेरे सारे फोर्सेस आ गए। अगर मैं यहाँ पे F1 लिखना चाहूँ तो वो क्या हो जाएगा, 2kq अपॉन a स्क्वायर, 2kq अपॉन a स्क्वायर विल बी 4kq अपॉन a square. Similarly, if you write down FB plus FT, that will be also 4kq upon a square. Now, what is the angle between the two? These are just like the two sides of a parallelogram. Resultant will be given by the diagonal. So, this is the resultant F. Now, see how will you find out F? The angle is 90 degree. And whenever theta is equals to 90 degree and the two forces are equal, the resultant will be equal to root 2f. जब दो फोर्सेस बराबर होते हैं और एंगल 90 डिग्री होता है तो उनका रिजल्टेंट रूट 2f के बराबर होता है, या रूट 2 ऑफ वन ऑफ द फोर्स हो जाएगा. सो रूट 2 टाइम्स द फोर्स, दैट इज 4kq अपॉन a square. This will be the force between the force on the charge q. Okay, this will be the force on the charge q. This is the one numerical that we discussed. In the next class, we will discuss some more numericals on the Coulomb's law. Okay, bye-bye everyone.